Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. It's half up here. It's half up here. And this is a review that's been a long time coming. I mean, how to train your smack, aka how to train your dragon. Look, man. I mean, a lot of people have. This thing has done very well. It's earned a lot of money. And especially in the whole Pixar dominated animation world, it's pretty crazy that something like this has earned the amounts of money that it has done. Um, but I mean, really, I mean, I'm just gonna just say this to begin with. It's not my kind of thing, and that is no disrespect to the material, but it's like I'm tired of this kind of content, if you know what I mean. It's just not my it's just not my slice of bread. It's just not my slice of bread. Um, but that said, it's a very good flick for what it sets out to do. I mean, just a quick recap of what the thing is about. I mean, basically, it's Vikings and obviously yeah, and basically we have the protagonist, the main guy, who is basically very weak and weedy, and he's basically the young son of the head of the Vikings, pretty much, who's obviously this brawny, strong guy, and most of the Vikings are brawny and strong, but he's obviously his son, who's a lot more thinner and smaller, and he's not really doesn't really have the same courageous and manly traits that his father has. And basically, in the town that they live, basically they have to fight against these dragons who come and take their food. So they're like, look, man, dragons don't take our food, man. So they have to try and fight them off. So they basically hunt down dragons. And their aim is that they want to try and find out the hub of the dragons, find out where they live, so they can finally destroy all the dragons. But basically, this guy basically finds obviously this very mysterious dragon called Night Fury, and then he starts to learn that maybe they don't really understand these dragons fully, and what they thought of the dragons before is not entirely true. So yeah, that just pretty much sets up the story there and there. Because now see the relationship between the protagonist and Night Fury, this mysterious dragon. For me, I told him, man, I don't have time for 18. I don't have time for Jonah Hex. I don't have time for remakes. I hate remakes. And I give kudos to Pixar. I don't like Pixar stuff. I will never like Pixar stuff, but I always give kudos to Pixar because at least stuff is original. And I'm going to give kudos to this because it's actually an interesting story. It's interesting. It's new. Like, it's so weird, especially in the uncreative world that we're living in, to see something that is like, whoa, wow, man, and this is, I don't know what to expect next, because like everything is just so new, and it's an interesting plot, it's an interesting hook, and it's just an interesting story, and it's just so good to see something nice and fresh. And obviously, the protagonist and his friends and the love interest, obviously they are contemporary, so they say contemporary things, and it's a bit different from obviously the Vikings, who are Scottish. Well, there you go. I mean, the main guy is American, but there they go. Look at me. It's for the kids. It's for the kids. But I just feel like because for me, like my whole beef with Pixar has always been it's too contemporary. I mean, Pixar is just too like okay, like Finding Nemo, man. I just don't know what people see in that thing because it was just like, what? I mean, what is this? But I just think that obviously, I mean, I think that's the thing, that all this stuff is contemporary. But yeah, man. I mean, I just think, I mean, the way this was put together, the story, the characters, it just fits really well. I mean, there was nothing. It's not one of those things that once you watch, it sticks in your mind. Pretty much after you watch. To be honest, the thing that still sticks into my mind is the animation. I mean, the animation is probably some of the best animation I've actually seen, and that's including the Pixar stuff, which is very surprising, because this is obviously Pixar. But I mean, for those who've seen it like that, the animation on the protagonist, the protagonist, he's called Hiccup. Hiccup. There you go. Yeah, Hiccup. Like the animation on his father, man, is crazy. Like he's basically real. Just the way he moves, the way they've done his beard, the way they do the emotions in his eyes, it's absolutely amazing. And just his characters are really the one that really stands out, But I mean, the whole animation of everything, and also just like, especially of the dragons as well as they're flying and when they're breathing fire, and especially the finale as well, man. I mean, the animation is extremely top notch, some of the best that you'll see. But I mean, for me, I can't really say too much to insult this thing or say anything bad about it without sounding subjective, But the fact that this is Talkback and this is double edged, so I'm gonna have some subjectivity in there. If you want some objective critic, go to Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, this is a double edge, so it's good. It is good, and I would recommend it to peeps. But I'm tired of this stuff, man. I'm tired of these same jokes, same character, same. Even if it's still a different and a refreshing plot, it's the same kind of story arc, the same kind of thing. And I want to see a World of Warcraft flick. I want to see a World of Warcraft animation flick. I don't want to see a live action movie. I want to see a World of Warcraft animation flick. I want to see a Space Marines an animation flick done in CG. That's what I want to see, because we've had all of this stuff aimed towards kids and stuff like that. But I'm not liking the sentiments that all CG stuff must be aimed towards kids and must become comedic. Why? Why can't you just have something like Space Marines, which is like, this is like a hardcore rated 18 action sci-fi thing that's done in CG? Because if that's done, I'm in there before they even release it. So basically, we're talking like Back to the Future now. Like I'll actually watch the film before it's even released. That's how much I want to see that. And you're looking at just the excellent animation of How to Train Your Dragon, and I just think that a lot of the original ideas are now going into all of this animation stuff. But I just wish that a different genre could be touched upon, because I'm just looking at the products that's there and how it's just been constructed, and I just feel like if there's something newer and more refreshing could be done with the tools that I already see, the technical tools that I already see with this How to Train Your Dragon. But as I still say, if you can catch this flick, it is not stupendous. It's not like a Beauty and the Beast or a or like an Akira, or like a Fantasia. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that, But it's interesting, man. It's interesting, and it's definitely something interesting. And for me, I actually prefer it. I mean, I prefer it to a lot of the Pixar stuff, but still, I want to see a Space Marines flick. I want to see a Warhammer 40K fully CG flick. I don't want to see a live action thing. I don't want to see Brad Pitt in a live action World of Warcraft thing, because that'll just be no. I want to see a full CG thing. I mean, especially those who've seen that World of Warcraft intro, man. Imagine a full flick of that. Hey, that'd be crazy, man. That would be crazy, But obviously, it takes time and all that kind of stuff. But that is what I want to see. But I'm for How to Train Your Dragon. I mean, it's good. It's a very, very good product. I really like that it's a refreshing story. It's not a annoying remake. And I just hope that we see more stuff like this, because obviously the technology is obviously at its best, and I just wish that we can see more of this stuff in a variety of genres. Then we'll have something on our hands. But yeah, man, pretty good flick.